Okay, so let's take the attendance real quick to see who's here and who's not. All right. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Valeria, is Valeria around? Yes.
Present.
Hello, Valeria, morning. Okay, we have Pirina. Is Pirina around? No, no yet. All righty. Jennifer Bonilla, yes.
Present. Good morning.
Hello, Jennifer, morning. Okay, Jennifer Corozo.
Present. Good morning.
Hello, Jennifer. Okay, Sebastián. Oh, all righty. Gabriela. Yes, I see Gabriela.
Present.
Abigail.
Present.
Hello, Abigail. We have Leonidas. All right. Okay, we have Zoila. I think Zoila was around here somewhere. Okay, she might be having issues with connection. Claudia's there.
Present, teacher.
Cairo is there. Hello, Claudia. Brian is not here.
Present, teacher.
Hello, Cairo. We have Bianca. Is Bianca around? Yes.
Buenos días, teacher.
Hello. Hello, Bianca. Morning. Okay, we have Jocelyn. Jocelyn is there. And Anna, unfortunately, no, she is not here. Okay. So, okay, so let's see. Okay. Again. All right. Okay, so we are going to continue, people, in the part that we left over yesterday. Okay, remember that today the aim or my objective is to advance as quickly as possible, but not moving forward fast in terms of not learning anything, in terms of moving forward, but also taking into consideration what are the things that we are going to work on. All right. So if you notice, if you take a look about what do I have on my screen, we are like this close to finish. We will possibly be finishing maybe next week, possibly. Okay, remember that we have 2 more weeks and such, and we are done with the course, right? So that's why I gotta remind yourself, I gotta remind you that you have to comply with all the assignments that we do, not only on Moodle platform, but also on Alticia as well. And the collaborative projects that we do are as important as the ones that we do in the platform, right? So that's why I every single class I try to reinforce the information, right? In terms of attendance, remember, people, that is extremely important that you guys have over 60% or 70% of attendance in the class. Okay, that means that you cannot miss more than 3 sessions. Okay, so if you miss more than 3 sessions, unfortunately, you are not going to be able to reach the minimum required, right, to approve the course. Okay, take into consideration as well that the minimum required to approve the course as any other subject in your career or in your faculty, you are going to need the 60% of attendance. Okay, between 60 and 70% of attendance. That means that we teachers take into account how many absence you have had during the whole course, right? So in this case, we are going to be looking at also the attendance, but not only the attendance. If you have complied with the assignments that I have told you to do so, with evaluations, with Alticia platform, with the mobile platform and such. Okay, so that's my concern. Okay, remember that in this case, as well as it happens in college, any absence that you are going to have, unfortunately, is not justified. Okay, what do I mean by that? That you cannot justify any absence during the class, right? So that's why every single time that I have the opportunity to talk to you, I tell you, if you are going to have any issues with your throughout the day, sometimes, because I know that you guys are busy people. I totally get it. But try to connect at least after. I mean, I would prefer that you guys, even though it's not recommendable, but I would prefer that you guys lose 1 hour than 4 hours. Okay, so my recommendation, if you are going to be late, preferably you're going to be late only 1 hour or 1 hour after the class has begun. Why? Because when you don't connect or when you don't join the session, you don't miss only 1 hour, you miss 4 hours. And those 4 hours, it's a session that you guys didn't attend. So my recommendation will be always try to connect at least the rest of the time. Okay, I'm not saying that, for example, we start classes at 9 o'clock, right? 9 o'clock, around that time, and you are going to connect 1 hour before the class finishes. No, that's not the approach. The approach here is that you are able to be in the session as many hours as possible. Okay, I know that you cannot be in the session for the 4 hours. Okay, some of you can, some others cannot. But my recommendation will be always be try to be as much time in the session as possible. All right, so you don't miss any points in regarding attendance, because remember that you can comply with all the requirements. You can do all the collaborative project that I can give you to do, or I tell you to do so. But if you don't comply with the attendance, which is a key factor here, unfortunately, you are not going to approve the course, right? So that's my concern, because I have seen people in this case that have more than one absent. Okay, so if you, the minimum that you guys should be aware of, you can miss 3 classes, I mean 3 sessions during the course. But if you have more than 4 sessions or more than 3 sessions, that means that you are not going to be able to approve the course due to the lack of attendance. Okay, so that's my concern. Okay, so take into account that that area, that A, because as I have mentioned before, and the infopedagogo mentioned the same idea as well. Some people have failed the course not because of the grades, but because of the attendance. Because attendance is also a key factor. Attendance is that you guys keep your cameras on. Attendance is that you guys pay attention into class. Attendance is that you guys participate in class. Remember that being in a virtual classroom is the same or exactly the same as being in a class normally, like any class that you have in college. So that's why I keep telling you guys that please turn your cameras on, please have your cameras on, because this is an extremely important factor. Okay, so questions about this?
Disculpe, pero el día de ayer yo sí estaba y veo en mi asistencia que tengo falta.
Which one, Zoila? Let me see.
Sí,
If you do, I'm sorry, I gotta apologize. Okay, yes. Okay, thank you so much for reminding me. Okay, yes. Okay, yes, I do remember that you were here, yes. Thank you, Zoila. Thank you for the heads up. Okay, anybody else?
hoy
Okay.
también estoy.
Okay, yes, of course. Yes, of course. Yes, I see you right here.
Ese es Claudia.
It's, oh, you're up here. Yes, got it. Thank you. I mean, I called you a moment ago, you were not here, so that's why I put the absent, but now I see you. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, so
Gracias.
questions, people, regarding this specific area, because today I have to send an email about the people that they have more than 3 absents in the class. So I have to mail to Academia de Idiomas and to let them know that these or those specific students have been they haven't been attending classes so far. So I gotta tell them, because that's my responsibility as a teacher, right? Okay, so that was the first part that I wanted to talk to you about, special attendance, because I have seen that people have had some issues regarding attendance, so that's why I want to clear that up. Okay, Claudia, you want to say something? Yes.
Teacher, if I have 3 absence, what happened?
Okay, you can have only 3, but you cannot have more than 3 absence. 3 is the
Okay.
top. If you have more than 3, that's when the problem comes in. because remember that each session contains 4 hours. 4 hours. So in total, if you multiply 4 hours per amount of session that you haven't attended, for example, you have 3 absence. That means you have lost 12 hours of class, because each one of those sessions contains 4 hours. Okay, 4 hours the first one, 4 hours the second one, 4 hours the third one. If you keep continue unattending classes, that means that the amount of hours is going to increase. For example, if you don't come to class next week, that's going to be 16 hours. And the amount keeps going up because we have 4 hours. 4 hours in this case per week. I mean 4 hours, 8 hours per week, I would say. Because we have 4 on Saturday and 4 on Sunday, right? So that's why I always tell you, I always ask you to connect. Okay, and that's the example that I gave. If you cannot connect the first hour, try to connect to the rest of the hour. Okay, but in this case, keep in mind that you are not going to connect 1 hour before the class finishes, right? That's not the aim, that's not the approach. But my idea here is that you guys are able, because remember, when the evaluation comes in, and in the day of evaluation, the final evaluation, all the topics that we have so far covered in the platform are going to be included in your guys' evaluation. For sure, trust me, I can bet you that. Okay, so all the topics, including the ones that we're about to finish, because remember, we have 4 more units and we're done. That means that all of those topics that we have so far reviewing are going to be included in your guys' evaluation. And that's why all the content that we check on the book, all the content that we check on the platform, and all the content, the material that we check on the slides are going to be included in your guys' evaluation, especially grammar. Okay, especially grammar. So my recommendation will always be try to attend as many classes as possible. Okay, so I repeat myself, the minimum of absence that you can have, it's only 3 absences. Only 3, the top. If you go beyond those 3 absence, it's less unlikely that you are going to approve the course, right? So my recommendation will always be, obviously the calculation I have to do it at Academia de Idiomas. I just send the report, they do the calculation, they do the math, and they tell you, okay, you have approved the course with the requirements that the teacher has set, or unfortunately you have not approved the course because of the attendance, for example. Okay, everything in here goes together: attendance, collaborative projects, Alticia, and the Moodle platform. Those are 4 factors that we take into account, actually. Okay, attendance, Alticia, Moodle, and the some collaborative project, which we have so far. We have 2 collaborative projects. Okay, next week we are gonna start the third one. Okay, and that's gonna be it, right? So that's it. That's why I keep telling you that you have to be aware of the amount of classes that you lose. Okay, and taking into account that you don't lose 1 session, you lose 4 hours. 4 hours in which we can do something, or we can learn something, or we can reinforce something, because that's the aim here. Okay, so people, before I jump into our class, does anybody have any questions? Questions? No? Okay, so let's see what do we have for today. Okay,
Teacher, una consulta. Las actividades que realizamos, las evaluaciones de todo lo que hemos trabajado en clase y luego lo hacemos nosotros en nuestras plataformas, ¿ese qué porcentaje equivale? ¿Y Alticia qué equivale? ¿Qué porcentaje?
Alticia worth 2 points, Moodle platform worth 2 points.
Ya.
The collaborative projects worth, if I'm not mistaken, worth 2 points, which you have 60%, and the final evaluation worth 4 points, and then you have the 100%.
Ya. El examen solito.
4 points.
Ya.
That's why I keep telling you, the final exam has more points than the rest of them. Yeah. So you have to be aware of that. Okay, because well, based on my experience, people, well, that's something that I have noticed. Okay, based on my experience, people, they comply with everything. They attend all the classes, they deliver the assignments on time, they finish the Alticia platform, they finish the Moodle platform and such. But when it comes to the evaluation, I don't know what happened to them. I don't know what happened to them. They just block. And the exact topics that we covered in the class, when it comes to practice, because remember that the final evaluation is a reflection of what you have learned in the course. That's it, right? So the topics that we have so far covered in the course are the ones that you have to reflect in your evaluation. That's it. It's nothing from the reality. Are the same topics, or the great majority of topics that we have so far covered here are the same ones that you guys are going to find on the evaluation. That's it. Okay, so I don't know what happened at the moment. I don't know if you guys feel nervous. I don't know if you guys feel pressure or stress, but some of you can concentrate, some of you can, can focus, but some others, I don't know. I don't know why, but they lose focus easily. And therefore, when you cannot concentrate, you're going to get a low mark because you cannot concentrate. Okay, so remember one thing: time, because you're gonna have like 1.5 hours, if I'm not mistaken, to finish the whole exam. Try to be as quick as possible, because 1 hour, it might sound like it's a lot of time, but it's not, because you gotta read, and read. So my recommendation will be learn how to do it quickly. Like you snap your fingers and you continue. You cannot get stuck in one question. If you get stuck in one question, that would represent that you're not going to have enough time to finish the rest of the exam, right? So therefore, you have to be aware that 1.5 hours, it's the top time that you're going to have. So that's why I keep telling you, please be aware of the time, because 1.5 hours might sound like it's a lot, but it is not. When you notice, you only have 20 minutes for the exam, and that's it. So it's a big issue about time management, especially time management. So that's why I every single time I tell you that you have to be aware of the amount of time that you actually invest. Okay, and therefore every single class we cover the topic that we gotta cover. In this case, the ones that we related, or the ones that we find in the evaluation, right? Teacher, when does the course end? Unfortunately, Valeria, I cannot tell you in a specific date. I can tell you though the weeks that we have, which are 3 weeks more that we have. But the exact date in which you're going to have the evaluation, or when is the exact date that the course finishes, I don't know. That information, Academia Idiomas has to tell us. So we inform you guys, hey, people, this is in this specific date, the course is going to end, and you guys are aware of that, right? So that's why. But I cannot tell you when exactly does the course end. I don't know. I don't even know if when is going to be the exam. So that's why I cannot tell you for sure. And that information wouldn't be ethically correct if I tell you one date and it turns out it has been the other one, or the other way around. So that's why I just prefer to not say anything until I get a confirmation and I can tell you, okay, this is the date that I have been informed that we are going to have, in this case, the exam, or we are going to have the evaluation, or the course is going to finish, or the course is going to end, right? So that's why I cannot tell you for sure when exactly that's the course finishes, right? So that's why. Okay, so questions, people? Questions before we jump into our matter? Questions? No? Okay, so okay, remember, people, that we worked so far. Okay, we finished, okay, the unit number 5B in the student book. Okay, remember that in this case, last class we were talking about comparative and superlative. Okay, and we mix them with one of the tenses that we so far have, which is present perfect, which is another one that we check so far. All right. So this is pretty much the information that we are going to do for today. Okay. I'm sorry. The one that we did yesterday, and the information that we are going to do for today is going to be this. Okay. Remember that every single time I try to move as quick as possible, especially as quick as possible, but in terms of content, right? So in this case, I would like to finish the present perfect, and in this case, some practice about comparative and superlative, so I can wrap up with that and I can jump into the new content that we are going to have, which is quantifiers. Okay, so let's do a little practice. Okay, in this case, it's going to be about comparative and superlative. Okay, before I jump into that, do you remember when do we use comparative or superlatives? Do you remember?
Comparative is for things, specific things, and superlative is for general.
Okay, for example, if I ask you how many things I can compare with comparatives, how many things?
Only two things.
Only two things, right? And what about superlative? What's the difference?
You can compare more than two things, like 1,000 things.
Like 1,000, right? Okay, remember that I asked you the question. Okay, I asked you some questions last class, especially last class. Okay, some questions that you guys know for sure. Okay, if I ask you, who is the best singer in the world, right? Who's the best singer in the world? All right. So you might tell me, I don't know, The Weeknd. You might tell me, I don't know, Bad Bunny. You might tell me, I don't know, whomever it's your favorite singer, but it's for you, right? Remember that whenever we are using superlative, we take one little thing and we put it at the top, the best of the best. Okay. But when we use comparative, it changes a little bit. Who's better? The Weeknd or, I don't know, Julio Jaramillo, for example. Okay, who's better, The Weeknd or Julio Jaramillo? What do you think? For the people that they belong to my generation, you would say The Weeknd, right? What do you think? Who's better, people? I know that they're not the same, but just for asking.
Julio Jaramillo.
Okay, so Julio Jaramillo has one vote. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Julio Jaramillo.
Julio Jaramillo. Okay, 3 votes. Okay, nice. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else about The Weeknd? Nobody about The Weeknd? No, nobody. Okay, so Julio Jaramillo is the winner. Okay, okay, that's a good feeling of patriotism. Okay, do you one new word for you people? A feeling of patriotism. Okay, a patriotism. I feel like I'm part of my country. Okay, I'm like a good patriot. Okay, or some people call it nationalism or nationalism. Okay, so those are a few words that you can include in your vocabulary. It's are extremely helpful. Okay, okay, so let's see. Okay, let's continue in this case. Okay, in this case, we are gonna practice a little bit about superlative and comparative. Okay, which that's the aim that I want to finish for today. Okay, remember that. Do you remember exactly how we can construct superlative or comparative? How can we create comparative? What do we use to make comparatives? What is the structure that we use to make comparative? Do you remember? Because comparative and superlative are different, especially in structure. They are not the same though. So what do we use? What exactly do we use to make comparative and superlatives? Do you remember?
En comparative era more, and superlative era most. En
Okay.
comparative los verbos eran con ER y en superlative con ES.
Okay, EST, right? But there's one rule. Okay, remember that whenever we are using, okay, For example, the rules that Bianca mentioned are the ones for one-syllable adjective. Okay, for example, fast, faster, tall, taller, small, smaller, big, big is one exception, because remember that whenever we have a vowel and a consonant in it's only one syllable adjective, we have to double the last letter. Okay, so we are going to double the G and we're going to say bigger with double G, right? But in the case of superlatives, we add the EST or the IEST, depending on the type of adjective that I have, right? That's the aim, okay? But something important that you guys are forgetting about, okay? Whenever we are using comparative, we use the than. Okay, nobody told me that. We use the than. Okay, than. And when we use superlative, we use the. Okay, we use the. Okay, comparatives, than, superlatives, the. Okay, which is the aim that we are going to use, right? So you have to have that very clear, because depending on what do you use, is gonna be the answer, right? So let's see, what do we have? Okay, let's see if we can make it a test, okay, to prove how you guys are doing so far. Okay, so let me share my screen with this one. Okay, people, there you have the code. Okay, and remember that every single thing that we do right here is pretty much to reinforce our knowledge, especially our knowledge. Okay, especially our knowledge. Okay, so let me know when you're ready and we can start. Okay. Meanwhile, I am gonna open up one thing that I have to see right here, which is gonna be extremely helpful. Okay, we're missing 3 more people. Let me get a towel. I have allergies. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, people. Okay, let's see who's missing.
Teacher,
Yes.
I have a question before the game.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
When we use more and most, it's because in the sentence is an adjective. Or not?
In both are adjectives, but the main difference between more and most, remember that we use more when the adjective has more than 3 syllables. For example, beautiful. We say she's more beautiful than. Why? Because beautiful has more than 3 syllables. Okay, but most is the same thing. So remember that whenever we use more and most is because in both cases, the adjective that I use, they have more than 3 syllables. That's why. Okay, for example, she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Okay, or I can just simply say she's more beautiful than somebody else. Okay, but more and most applies when the adjectives have or contains more than 3 syllables. Okay, and how do you know contains more than 3 syllables? Because you clap. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, you clap, and you can count the times that you clap. Okay, intelligent. 4. Okay, so in that case, you know for sure that they have more than 3 syllables. All right, so that's why. Okay.
Okay, teacher, thanks.
No worries, my pleasure. Okay. Yes, can we start? Yes. Somebody's missing. Let me see who's missing. Okay. Yep. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. That's it. Okay, there you have it, people. Okay, try to read carefully. Okay, don't finish like rushing. You don't have time. Just read carefully and take your time. That's it. Okay, try to answer the question thinking about the correct answer. All right. Take your time. I'm gonna give you some time. So
Teacher,
Yes.
¿puede mandar de nuevo el link? Es que no, yo recién entro.
Yeah. There you have it. There's the thing.
Gracias.
My pleasure. Okay, so let's see. 2 more minutes and we check, we review. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Okay, 67 we have, okay. Question number 6. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at the results that we have so far. Okay, let me share you the screen so you can see the results, all right? Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is what we have. Sarah is. That's a multiple choice question. Okay, 93. Okay, we have to in this case improve some aspects regarding comparative and superlative, right? Especially those two, because those are the ones that we're going to encounter more often here. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yes. It's not that bad, though we gotta reinforce some information, okay? Okay. So let's jump right into something more interesting. Okay. So as everything that we do, I show you how they are actually applied in the real context, right? So we have seen many movies, we have seen many videos about it. So let's see, okay? Okay, let's see what do we have so far. Can you see my screen? Yes?
No, it's around here somewhere. Ah, there it is. The Snuggly Duckling. Don't worry, very quaint place. Perfect for you. Don't want you scaring and giving up on this whole endeavor now, do we?
Okay, so Flynn, what do we have? A comparative or superlative?
A comparative.
A comparative. So what do we have then? Taller. Exactly, taller than. Absolutely.
Endeavor now, do we?
Well, I do like ducklings.
Yay! Garçon! Your finest table, please.
Okay, they are comparative or superlative. What do we have?
Superlative.
A superlative, the most
Dangerous.
dangerous. Okay. Very nice.
You smell that? Take a deep breath through the nose. Really let that seep in. What are you getting? Because to me, it's part man smell, and the other part is...
Okay, so he is the
Worst.
worst. Baddest doesn't exist. Baddest with double D, not either. So the worst guide.
And the other part is really bad man smell. I don't know why, but overall it just smells like the color brown. Your thoughts?
That's a lot of hair.
Here is the Is the longest.
Larger.
The longest. Absolutely, the longest.
She's growing it out. Is there blood in your mustache? Goldie, look at this. Look at all the blood in his mustache. Good sir, that's a lot of blood.
He
It's bigger.
is bigger.
Bigger.
Bigger with double G. Exactly. Bigger.
Hey, you don't look so good, Blondie. Maybe we should get you home, call it a day. Probably better off. This is a 5-star joint after all, and if you can't handle this place, well, maybe you should be back in your tower.
Is this you?
Oh,
The nose of the drawing is
Longer.
longer. Absolutely. Longer than his nose. Absolutely. Perfect.
now they're just being mean.
Oh, it's him, all right. Grenham, go find some guards. That reward's gonna buy me a new hook. I could use the money. What about me? I'm broke.
Is the. What do we have then here? Is
Biggest.
the
Bigger.
biggest. Exactly, the biggest. As superlative, exactly.
Get back!
We can work this out!
Hey, leave him alone!
Gentlemen, please!
Give me back my guy! Ruffians!
Not the nose! Not the nose! Not the nose!
Put him down!
She's the. We have brave. So what we got? Number 1, number 2, and number 3.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2, the
Number
bravest. Exactly, the bravest.
Put him down! Okay, I don't know where I am, and I need him to take me to see the lanterns because I've been dreaming about them my entire life. Find your humanity! Haven't any of you ever had a dream?
I had a dream once.
Okay, exactly. Okay, he has the best aim. Okay, absolutely. Okay, so, okay, people, so in this case, we are gonna call it for, okay, in this case, this is pretty much the information that we are going to see regarding comparative and superlative. Okay, remember that when it comes to comparative, just to finish with this information, we are going to use comparative to compare things. In this case, we can compare only 2 things. And superlative, we can compare 1,000 things. Okay, that's pretty much the aim. That's pretty much how it works. And in this case, remember that whether you're using 1-syllable adjective, 2-syllable adjective, or 3 or more syllable adjectives, the structure will change. Okay, especially with the 3 or more syllable adjective, in which we are going to add the most if it's a superlative or more if it's a comparative. Okay, so that brings us to our next topic for today. Okay, and before I give you any hint, I would like you to watch the following video. Okay, so let's see what we got.
Hey, on Sundays, my family goes to this food market in our town. It's really great. You can see the market's got some apples and it's got some bread. Sometimes they haven't got any cheese at the market, but today they do. We can eat it with that bread. I think cheese is my favorite food. It's too bad they haven't got any bananas today, but I can have some fruit in another way. Smoothie. It's got milk, yogurt, blueberries, and oranges in it. I'm happy I've got a smoothie now. Mmm, so good. Have you got a favorite food? Tell me about it in the comments.
Which language does the vlogger use?
So this is pretty much the topic that we are going to see for today, okay, which are countable and uncountable nouns, okay, which is the basic, okay, or the previous one to the one that we are going to be looking at in a few minutes, all right? So this information that we are going to be looking at is the basic one, which is the basis that you have to know, that you have to be aware of, so we can continue with the quantifiers, because this one is a level number 1 for quantifiers. This is the basic. Okay, so in this case, the word by itself tells us what are countable and uncountable nouns, right? So in just a general idea, okay, nouns are pretty much things that we can observe. Example, I have a towel. Well, you're gonna see my towel. I have my towel. I have a mug. This is the mug that I have. Okay, this is the mug that I have. Okay, I have my cell phone. I have my computer. All the things that I can touch, all the things that I can grab, all the things that I can observe, all the things that I can know they are there, they are called nouns. That includes food. That includes objects. Okay, sometimes include animals, okay, animals. But the main issue here is that you know how to identify those nouns, because in Spanish we have a name for that, and nouns in Spanish are called sustantivos. Okay, so easily we can identify the nouns because most of the time they are in the sentence, but they are acting as a noun. Okay, sometimes they can be found at the end of the sentence with a complement next to it or as a part of complement. Sometimes they can be found in the middle, depending on the idea that I want to communicate. But the main role here is that we are going to talk about nouns. So let's see what exactly are countable and uncountable nouns.
Some nouns are countable. You can count them. For example, 1 banana, an apple, 2 apples. Other nouns are uncountable. You can't count them. For example, bread, cheese, milk. We use a or an with singular countable nouns.
Okay, before we cover this part, I want to just come back. Okay, so in Spanish, we can count bread. I say 1 bread, 2 bread. Okay, I say un pan, 2 panes, 3 panes in Spanish. But in English, bread is uncountable. I cannot count bread. Okay, I cannot say I want 1 bread, 2 breads, 3 breads. That doesn't exist. That's not possible. Okay, so again, most of the time, bread, cheese, and all the liquids, that includes water, juice, oil, all the liquids that you can think about, they are uncountable nouns. Why? Because I can count them. Okay, I cannot say a water because water is uncountable. I cannot say a milk because milk is uncountable. I cannot say a cheese because cheese is uncountable. But I can say a banana, an apple, or some apples. Okay, I can say an orange or some oranges. Okay, I can say a strawberry or some strawberries. Okay, so in general terms, countable nouns are the things that I can count. Okay, I can count by using numbers. Okay, you can give a number to that specific noun. Okay, I have 5 bananas. Okay, I have 6 apples. Okay, on the other side, uncountable nouns are the ones that under no reason you can count them. Okay, that includes bread, cheese, and milk, especially liquids. So all the liquids that we know, including water, oil, and some other, we can count them. Absolutely not. There's no way that we can count water. There's no way that we can count milk. And there's no way that I can count oil. Okay, so I'm gonna put in the chat so you guys are aware of that. Uncountable nouns.
Buenos días, mister.
Hello,
¿Me
Jose.
podría ayudar con la asistencia, por favor?
Sure, no problem. Okay, uncountable nouns. So the uncountable nouns are the ones that we can count them, and that includes all the liquids. All the liquids. Okay, that includes yogurt. Okay, we can count yogurt. Okay, but why? Because it's always a liquid or some sort of a liquid, right? So all the liquids that you can think about, including water, we can count them. There's no way that we can count water. Okay, it doesn't happen like we have in Spanish, un agua. In English, you have to specify. You have to be more specific. I want a glass of water. Okay, and in the question, in the matter of bread, okay, in the case of bread, I have to be even more specific. Okay, you can say I want, I don't know, 3 slices of bread. Okay, but you cannot say I want 1 bread. Okay, so because when it comes to bread, there are different kinds. Okay, but the general term by bread, you cannot count bread. Absolutely not. There's no way that you can count bread. Okay, it doesn't happen like we have in Spanish though. Okay, so that's the idea. But you know, countable nouns, the ones that we can count, uncountable nouns are the ones that we cannot count under no reason. Why? Because there's no way. Okay. To coach, you can say, well, which one do you mean? The ones that they come in a bottle or cans? In cans, okay, you say 2 cans of Coke. But you specify that. Okay. If there's only one Coke. Okay. But if there's more than one, you have to be more specific. Or sometimes you can say a bottle, depending on the case. So that's what we have so far. Okay. So, all right, no worry, no problem. Okay. So that's the way how it goes. All right. So in this case, countable nouns, we can count them. Uncountable nouns, there's no way we can count them. Okay. But along with these countable nouns, we are going to use some words that they will help us to understand, and they will help us to mean what we want to communicate. So let's take a look.
Milk. We use a or an with singular countable nouns.
I've got a smoothie now.
He hasn't got an apple.
Have you got a favorite food?
We use some with countable nouns and uncountable nouns in affirmative sentences.
The market's got some apples and it's got some bread.
We use any with plural countable nouns and uncountable nouns in negative sentences.
They haven't got any bananas today. They haven't got any cheese.
And questions. Have you got any apples? Have you got any cheese?
Okay, so this chart, people, right here is the one that we are going to use when we want to refer to countable and uncountable nouns, okay? Remember that before we jump into quantifiers, be more specifically, okay, we have to know which are singular countable nouns and plural countable nouns, okay? So remember that in this case, we have 2 words that are similar, okay, but they don't work exactly the same, okay? So who can tell me by just looking at this chart, okay, in these two sentences that we have, one in positive and one in negative, what's the meaning? I mean, what's the difference between a and an? Anybody? What's the difference between a and an? There's one slight difference between those. A and an. Both of them mean un or unus in Spanish, but they don't work exactly the same. So what's the difference between that one and the other? Ideas?
And es, and es para, para letras que suenen como vocal en inglés y A es para letras que no suenan como vocal.
In other words, we use a for nouns that begins with a consonant, like a smoothie, because a smoothie, the first letter is not a vowel, and we are going to use an for the nouns that they begin or start with a vowel. For example, an orange, an apple. That's why we say an apple and we don't say an apple. Okay, so that's the main difference. So I'm gonna put it in the chat so you guys can write it down. Okay, so we use a for nouns that begin with a consonant. For example, a smoothie. And we use an for nouns that begin with a vowel. For example, an apple. Okay, an apple. So we use a for consonants and for vowels. That's how it goes, okay? What happens with some and any? Okay, especially some. Okay, some is widely used and it doesn't have like a restriction per se. Okay, we use some for plural. Okay, mostly plural, countable and uncountable nouns. Okay, countable and uncountable nouns. Okay, especially countable and uncountable nouns, right? Okay, so we can say I have some apples or I have some milk. Okay, apples are countable, milk is not countable. Okay, but in the case of any, we are going to use any for plural, okay, for plural, countable, and uncountable nouns. Okay, countable and uncountable nouns. Okay.
But any
Yes.
is for negative.
Especially negative question. So I will never use any for affirmative, ever, never in 1,000 years. Okay, so that was the part that I was aiming to mention. We use any for negative and questions. Okay, the only two ways that I'm going to use or I'm going to be able to use any, it's going to be for negative and questions. That's it. I cannot use any for positive, neither for anything else. Okay, so any, negative and questions, and some, it's going to be used for plural, countable, and uncountable nouns, as well as any. Okay, so that's my recommendation. So whenever you see, for example, in the example that we have on the screen, we have, they haven't got any bananas. Bananas are plural, therefore it's a negative question. But I can use exactly the same in a question. Okay. Have they got any apples? Have they got any apples? Okay, including in this case the any once again. Okay, so the only way that I'm going to be able to see whether I use any or some, it's because of the noun. If it's plural, I know that some is gonna be there for sure. Okay, some apples. Okay, but in this case, we have taken into account that we are going to use some, especially with plural. Okay, and uncountable nouns, countable and uncountable nouns, the same situation as any. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, so people, before we continue, questions up to this point? Questions? No questions? Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's continue then. Okay.
Use it. In pairs, take turns to tell your partner about the foods you've got or haven't got.
One more thing, people. Okay, chocolate, it's uncountable. Okay, chocolate is uncountable. Okay, just for you to know, chocolate is uncountable. I cannot count chocolate. I can count the bars of chocolate, of course, but chocolate is uncountable. So I cannot count chocolate. I can say I have some chocolate, but I cannot say I have a chocolate. Why? Because chocolate means general. Remember that in English, when we use quantifiers, we have to specify. I have a bar of chocolate. Okay. I have, I don't know, a chocolate smoothie, Okay. I have, I don't know, some chocolate milk, but chocolate is uncountable. I will never be able to count chocolate. Another item that it's uncountable, rice. Rice is uncountable. And what do you think rice is uncountable, by the way? Why do you think rice is uncountable? Why do you think rice is uncountable?
Porque son granos muy chiquitos. O sea, ponerse a contar uno por uno toma mucho tiempo.
Exactly. The same happens with salt and sugar. We cannot count the salt. We cannot count the sugar. Absolutely not. Why? Because they are like really, really tiny cubes, especially sugar. Another item that I cannot count, sand. I cannot count the sand. I will never be able to count sand, ever. Okay. Another item that it's logical and it's snow. I will never be able to count snow. Okay. Another one. And you might get surprised. What do you think? We can count stars? Yes or no? Stars. Can we count the stars? No. Interesting. Anybody else? Okay, why not? Why can we count the stars? Why we can't count stars?
Because there are a lot of stars in space, and we can.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Okay, but what happens if you lift your head up in the sky at night and you see, oh, there are 4 stars, there are 5 stars?
Yes, but o sea, sí, pero no son todas las estrellas. Son como que solamente las que se pueden ver.
Yeah, but in this case, you can count stars. Believe it or not, we can count stars. Even though we are never going to finish, that's logical because there are billions and billions of stars in the universe, but we can count stars. Okay? We can count universes actually. Okay, we can count planets. Okay, so stars are just a few, it's just one exception in which we can count the stars. Why? Because we can count them in the sky. We see how many stars do we have in the sky. Okay, I see the ones that I can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, X amount of stars. Okay, so that's what we have. So, but coming back to chocolate and rice, we are never going to be able to count chocolate and rice, salt and sugar either, and sun and snow not in the list. Okay, not even close, I would say. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Okay, so let's continue.
I've got 1 banana. I haven't got any chocolate. Now you try.
Okay, so how can I say, can you give me a sentence using water and rice? What do we have? What you got? Or what have you gotten? What do you think? It's like the example that we see a moment ago.
I haven't got any chocolate. Now you try. I've got some water. I've got some rice.
Okay, I've got some water because water is uncountable, and rice, obviously, if it's cooked or not, it's uncountable as well. Okay.
I've got some juice. I've got an apple. I've got some carrots. I haven't got any eggs.
Okay, so that's pretty much the idea that I want to present. Okay, so let's practice. I know that this is not the workbook, but I use it because it's really interesting. Okay. Okay, we have complete the table with the food words in the box. Okay, so let's see, what do we have? Okay, countable. What are the things that I can count based on the words that we have?
Eggs.
Okay, we can count the eggs. Anything else that we can count?
Carrot.
Tomato.
Carrots, tomatoes. Anything else?
Fish.
Fish. Okay. Okay. How can you count fish? Interesting. How can you count fish? Oh, we can count fish. Okay. What about uncountable? What about uncountable? What are the things that we can count? The first one, the most obvious one. We can count the juice, neither we can count the milk. Okay.
Rice.
Rice.
Rice,
Bread.
Cheese.
bread,
Cheese.
cheese. Okay, we can count the cheese. Okay, so what do you can we count the meat? No. So if we can count the meat, can we count the fish? Let's see. No. We can't count fish. We can't count meat. Okay. Observation, people. Any product that comes from animals besides eggs are uncountable. Okay. In other words, any products that comes from animals besides eggs are uncountable. You can't count them. Okay, you can't count them. Absolutely not. Any product that comes from animals besides eggs, it's uncountable. That includes meat, that includes fish. Okay, we can count the fish, we can count the meat. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, so very, very nice. Okay, so in here we have some and any. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have complete examples in the table below. Lakina's got a spider. Okay, perfect. Okay, she hasn't got. What do we use? She hasn't got a and some. Remember that I is for positive. What do we use for negative?
Any.
Any, exactly. We use any. Okay, perfect. Okay, we have Gossie's got. We have worms. Do you know what worms are? Some, exactly. Okay, he hasn't got.
Any.
Okay, George has got. Some chocolate. Okay, Gossie hasn't got.
Any.
Got any banana. Interesting. Let's see what we got. Okay, in this case, this is a mistake because we cannot say a banana because it's negative. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Okay, she hasn't got any banana. Okay, very good. Okay, so that's what we have. Okay. Okay, so this is pretty much the idea that we are going to discuss. Okay, now we are gonna enter in this case the one that we gotta see, the one that we have to check, okay? Because this is the basic for the ones that we have to check right now, okay? Which is, where is it? Where you at? Where you at? No, this is not. Okay, give me 1 sec. My computer is gonna die. Let me plug it in. Okay, let me plug the computer because otherwise it's going to die. Okay, so here we are. Perfect. Okay, so in this case, we are going to continue, okay, not in this part. Okay, we are going to continue in this case by checking too much, too many, which is the topics that we have to check for today. Okay, so give me 1 sec so I can find the slides, okay? Okay, so Come on. Okay, so here we are. Oof, I was struggling to find this. Okay, so can you see my screen? Yes. All right. So in this case, people, we are gonna see another way to express the amount of something. Okay, in this case, we are gonna be looking at too many, and too much. Okay, not enough and enough as well. Okay, so we have to understand that as well as we had in this case, as I explained a moment ago, we are going to have countable and uncountable nouns. We are going to use these expressions for countable and uncountable nouns, okay? Especially many and much, okay? An intro before we do it, and I explain a little bit about this, okay? You have to know that many is aimed for countable nouns. I have many apples. Much is aimed for uncountable nouns. I don't have much time, okay? Enough, use for pretty much we can say uncountable nouns. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. Okay, so that's pretty much the information that we are going to have. Okay, so two. Okay, in this case, we cover some information about two. Okay, we have to remember that whenever we are using two, okay, we are expressing in this case, and obviously we are going to use along with the adjectives, but we use two when it's something that is more than necessary. Okay, for example, I have friends, okay, but I have some friends that they have too many friends. Okay, that means that they have more friends that is necessary. Okay, so we often use two with adjectives when we feel that it is more than necessary. For example, I can watch a movie with you. I am too tired. Okay, it's too late. The shop is closed. Absolutely. I can study here. It's too noisy. Okay, so when you're using only two without many or much, you are expressing that you have something. Okay, you have about something, but you have too much about something. Okay, so in this case, you're expressing that you have more than it's required. Okay, so another way to be looking at this is that you have more than it's required. More than it's required. That's what you got. All right. So that's pretty much the information that you guys are going to have whenever you are using to. Okay. When you use to, you have more than it's required to have. Okay. On the other hand, too many. Okay. As I expressed, we use too many with countable nouns when there is more than necessary. Okay. There are too many people at markets. Absolutely. Okay. We cannot say there are two people. Because two, only the two goes for adjectives. Only for adjectives, especially adjective. The rest of them that we are going to use, that we're going to be looking at, it's too many. So too many for countable nouns. Okay. People, clothes, flavors. Okay. Women often have too many clothes. It might be true, it might be not. Okay. I cannot choose. There are too many flavors. Yes, of course. Okay, so too many, when we express that we have something or something more than necessary for countable nouns. Okay, how do we know are countable? Because I can count the people, I can count clothes, and I can count, of course, flavors. If it's chocolate, if it's strawberry, if it's vanilla, if it's Napolitan. Okay, so we use too many for countable nouns, especially countable nouns. Okay, that's pretty much when we use too many. Okay, on the other side, we have too much. Okay, if we use too many for countable nouns, we are gonna use too much for uncountable nouns. That's how it works. Okay, that's pretty much how it works. If we use too many for countable nouns, too much for uncountable nouns. Okay, and if you notice, they both express the same information. They both express that you have too much about something, that you have more than it's required. Okay, so that's why we're gonna have this, too much. We use too much with uncountable nouns when there is more than necessary. Examples, I feel sick in the city, there's too much pollution. I cannot count the pollution. So that's why I say we use too much with uncountable nouns when there's more than necessary. Okay. Remember, too many countable, too much uncountable. Okay. Not enough. Okay, not enough is the opposite of too much and too many. Okay, and we are saying that it's not enough or we don't have enough about something. Okay, so I have allergies, Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so for example, I don't have enough money to buy a house. Okay, we have another example. There isn't enough time to finish the test. Okay, and the next one we have, there aren't enough drinks at this party. Let's take off. Okay, but you are communicating that you are lacking something. There's not enough about something. Remember, not enough is the opposite of too much and too many. Okay, it's like the antonym of too much and too many. Okay, and they works with countable and uncountable nouns, with both. Okay, countable and uncountable nouns. Okay, enough. Okay, enough is pretty much in the middle. It's like neutral. Okay, we use enough when we have the amount that it's required. Okay, for example, I have enough friends. I have enough time. I have enough hunger. I have enough, I don't know, enough money. Okay, so that's pretty much what we use, enough. Okay, it's not the same not enough. Okay, because when you put the not, that means that you're changing the connotation. You're changing from having something that is required and not having something that is required. Okay, not enough about something. Okay, so that's pretty much what we have. Okay. Yep, sure. Be my guest. Go. Okay, so in this case, we are going to use pretty much this information in terms of communicating if we have the right amount. Pretty much that's the way that it is, okay? In other words, not enough, enough, too much, and too many are examples of quantifiers. Okay, why? Because we give a certain amount of descriptions about something that we have or we don't. Okay, that's pretty much how it works. Okay, so people, questions up to this point. Does anybody have any questions? Any doubts? Any guesses? Any complaints on the other hand? No? Nobody? Okay, so there are no questions. All right, so let's see. Okay, so let's see. Let's continue. Okay, if there are no questions, we can continue working. Okay, so that's what we're gonna have. Okay, so as everything that we do, we gotta practice with a few exercises. Okay, so give me 2 seconds so I can put it up. I can set it up for you. I'm sorry. I have some sort of allergies. I don't know what's going on. Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's see what we have. Okay, so there's the link. Okay, there you have it. Let me place it in the chat and you can join. Okay. There you have it. Okay. If you excuse me, I'm gonna go to the restroom. So I have to go to the restroom right now. Okay. I'll be back in just 2 minutes. Okay. Meanwhile, I wait for you to register.
Teacher, no puso el link.
Okay, I am back. Okay, the link is the one that I pasted. Yep, you just put the quizzes, join my quizzes, and you put the code, and that's it. That's pretty much how it works. Hi, I hate all allergies. Okay, let's wait for more people so we can start. There are 4 people missing. Okay. We have 3 more people. Okay, so let's see. Let's start. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so far so good. Okay, in this case, too many people. Okay, remember the people is countable, so too many people in this case. Okay, too many people. Okay, so let's see what do we have. We have, they give us too much time, perfect, too much. Many cannot be because many is for countable, so not even close. Okay, we have the building is high, perfect, very good. Okay, there is, okay, nice. We have, there is not enough players for the match. Yes, there is not enough player for the match. Yes, actually. Okay, the class is not enough good. Okay, we have an adjective, so enough goes always with adjectives. Okay, not enough good for you, or not good enough for you in this case. Okay, you don't play enough to get to the championship. Yes. I had enough evidence to accuse him. Yes, of course. This felt like comfortable enough to give it to your mom. Absolutely. You must eat enough to get your ideal weight. And last one, I am too much happy. It's wrong. Yes. Too much happy. Yes. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. Okay, so let's jump right into the platform because we gotta rush. Like really, we have to rush. Okay, so let's see what we have so far. Okay, this is what we got. In this case, this is pretty much the information that we have so far checked. Okay, in terms of the information here. Okay, so let's see what we have so far. Okay, so we have grammar. In this case, choose the correct form. Okay, let's see what do we have. Okay, so how much and how many? So I eat. What do we have? Much or many? Too much or too? What do we have?
Too much.
Too much.
Too much chocolate. Yes, too much chocolate. Perfect. Okay, I eat crisps. Do you know what crisps are?
Papitas fritas.
So too much or too many?
Too many. Too many.
Too many crisps. Okay, I don't drink water enough or
Water
enough
and
water?
now.
Or
Water.
enough water. What do you think? I don't drink. Remember that enough goes before the noun. So I don't drink enough water. Water is a noun, so water goes at the end, enough goes first. Okay, I can come. I am too much busy, or I am too busy, even though it's the answer here.
Too busy.
Too busy, yes. Okay, this is a typo, partly. Okay, you work.
Too many.
Too many? Can we work too many or we work too much?
Too much.
Much.
We work too much. Yes. I don't have time enough or enough time?
Enough time.
Enough time. Yes. Enough goes first. After enough, we put, in this case, the noun. I don't.
And now go.
Now go.
Okay. In this case, go out is a verb. It's not a noun. So when we have a verb, I put I don't go out enough. Okay. So let me put you in the chat right here. Okay. Enough have two main uses. We put enough first when after we have a noun. Okay, do you guys know what a noun is? Yeah, for sure. I just explained that to you. Okay, number 2. We put enough at the end when we have a verb. Okay, for example, go out. I don't go out enough. I cannot say I don't enough go out. Okay, I don't go out enough. Okay, perfect. And what about number 8? She's. She is too much lazy or too lazy? Remember that the only one that works with adjective, it's too. So it's too lazy. Okay, so let's see what we have so far.
Too lazy.
Mm-hmm. We are, yes, we are absolutely right. Okay, we are absolutely right. Okay, we are absolutely right. Okay, so yes. Okay, yes. Okay, let's continue. Okay, complete the sentence with too much, too many, or enough. So let's see what we got. Okay, so we have complete the sentences with too much, too many, or enough. Okay, for example, you eat too much red meat. It isn't good for you. Okay, I am not very fit. I don't do enough exercise. Okay. What about number 2? I can walk to school. It's far is an adjective, so it's too far. Very good. Number 3, there are
Too many.
too many cars on the roads. Yes. I spend
Too much time.
too much time on the computer. Yes. I don't sleep
Enough.
enough. Only 5 or 6 hours, but I really need 8. What about number 6? I was too ill. Very nice. I was too ill. Okay, there were people.
Too many.
Too many people. Very good. Too many people at the party. Okay. I always have.
Too much.
I always have too much work to do and not enough free time. Yes, very nice. Very good. Yes, of course. Yes, that's what we got so far. Okay. Yes, eventually. Okay. Yes, indeed. Okay. Yes, for sure. Okay. Let's continue. Okay, we have number 4. Take the word with a different pronunciation. Okay, so let's see what we got. Okay, so we have up, like up is like the U is like up. We have the boat, we have bike, and we have an egg. Okay, so take the word with a different pronunciation. We have enough, we have much, none, and busy. What's the word with a different pronunciation? I repeat, enough, much, none, and busy. According to you, what's the word with a different pronunciation? We have enough, much, none, and we have busy. And the word is up, like up. So, enough, much, none, or busy. Ideas? So what we got?
Busy.
Busy. Okay. Okay, what about boat? We have few, cups, two, and foot. We have boat. We have few, cups, two, and foot.
Cups.
Cups. What about bike? The pronunciation is Ike. We have quite, diet, little, and like.
Little.
Little.
Little. Okay, the pronunciation is egg. Egg. Many, any, healthy, or water.
Water.
Water. Okay, so let's check it out. And let's see if we are absolutely right or absolutely wrong. Oops, there's one question with no answer. Which one? That's it, right? Yes. You keep telling me that I haven't finished. That's weird. Yes. I freaked out.
2.54.
Up. Enough. Much. None. Busy.
Boot. Ooh. Few. Cups. Two. Food.
Bike. I. Quite. Diet. Little. Like.
Egg. Many. Any. Healthy. Water.
Okay, so that's what we have. Okay, let's continue. Yes, unit number 6A. Okay, let me show it to you. 6A. Okay. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, this one we have finished, apparently. Okay. Yes, we did. Wow, interesting. Okay, match the verbs and the pictures. Let's see what we have so far. Oh, okay, so let's see. Okay, we have arrive, break, buy, find, forget, lend, miss, pass, push, send, start, teach, turn, and win. Okay, so before we jump into that, which words you guys don't know or perhaps you don't remember? You know where's arrive? Yes? Yeah, you do? Okay. Break? Yep. Buy? Yes. Find? Yes. Forget? Okay. To lend? Okay. If you don't remember, lend is you give money to somebody. You lend money. Prestar. You lend money. Okay. You miss, the train departure when you arrive to the station. Okay. Perder. You miss something. Okay. You pass an exam. You push the door, like when we get into a building and it says push and pull, right? Yes. Okay, you send an email, you start the race, you teach English, of course, you turn on the TV, and you win the match. Okay, so let's see what we have. Number one, arrive. Which word do you think will be arrive from the pictures that we have? Arrive.
Arrive es llegar, ¿verdad?
Yes, you arrive to a place. Exactly.
Can be number 7.
Number 7, it says Laura, Lisa. Okay, number 7, you say, right?
Maybe the girl arrive early and she is asking for her friends.
Okay,
I don't
what
know.
about break? Number 6, right? The pictures are tiny, but I can help you with those, okay? Number 6. What about buy a house? Number 4.
Number 4.
Yes.
Number 4.
Number 4. What about find your keys? Where do you find your keys? Number 3. Absolutely, yes. Number 3, we find our keys. You forget. Number 7, yes, that one is number 7. Actually, yes, you forget a name. You lend money to somebody. You give money to somebody. Number 2. Yes,
two.
number 2. Yes, of course. Okay, you miss a train. You miss a train. Which number is that one?
14.
Number 14. It's the only one with a train in the picture, right? You pass an exam.
Eight.
Number 8. You approved the exam. Okay, you push the door. Number 1.
1.
You send an email. You send an email. Number
12.
12.
Number 12. Yes. You start a race. Number
5.
5. Perfect. You teach English like I do.
11.
11. You turn the TV on.
9.
Number 9. You win a match. Number 13. And the one that we saw, you arrive early. Number 10. Why? Because there's nobody in the room. She's looking at the clock. Right? So let's see. Hell yeah. Absolutely. Yes, we are absolutely right. Okay, we are absolutely right. Okay. Okay, people, let's continue. I'm sorry if I am going a little bit faster, but I want to finish by today, the unit number 6. So I want to concentrate only next week on preparing, giving you the preparation for your exam. Okay, that's what I want to do right now. Okay. We have vocabulary 1. We have find the opposite verbs in the list. Okay, so let's see what we have. We have arrive and we have to choose the verbs that we have here in the list, all right? So we have arrive early. What would be the opposite of arrive early?
Late.
I'm sorry, can you come again? Yes?
The opposite of early is late.
Yes, but the verb, which verb should I choose from the ones that we have here down below?
Right.
That's what we got to do.
Sería leave.
Okay, you arrive, you leave. Eventually, yes, you leave. You break. When we break something, the opposite would be?
Man or
To mend or repair. Exactly. Yes. When we buy a house, the opposite would be? To sell it. You sell a house and you buy something. Okay. You find. The other one will be? You lose. You lose something. Okay. You forget.
You remember.
You remember. Exactly. You miss. You catch. You catch the train. Okay. I'm sorry. Catch the train. Yes. Okay. You lend. The opposite of lend money to somebody.
You get, receive.
You get or receive. Okay. We will discuss that later. Okay, you pass an exam. You
Fail.
fail. You push the door. You push the door. What happened when I push the door? The opposite, if I push, I pull.
Pull.
Okay, I pull, exactly. You push and you pull. Perfect. Okay, what about send? If I send, what would be the opposite of send an email?
Creo que ahí es get and receive.
Get and receive, right? Okay. What about start? We're finished, right?
Stop.
Yes. What about teach?
Learn.
You'll learn something eventually. You turn off, so you turn it on. Okay. You win a match,
Lose.
you lose a match. Okay. And you borrow. Okay. What's the difference between lend and borrow? You lend money from somebody else. I mean, I can lend you some money, but I do it. Okay, I lend money. But when you borrow something, is because you go to another person and you ask for something. Hey, can I borrow your phone? Can I borrow your pencil case? Okay, but you do it from somebody else's. Okay, that's what we have so far. Hell yeah. That's what we got. We are absolutely right. Okay, absolutely right. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Okay, we finalize the revision. And we can continue. Write the opposite verb in each space. Okay, yes. Okay, the opposite verb. Okay, so you want arrive on time, you want, be careful, use the correct verb form. You want, what do we have? Write the opposite verb. The opposite of arrive, which one was? If I arrive, I
Left.
leave. Okay, you won't leave on time. Okay. Okay, number two, we are going to
Learn.
learn English in Canada. Number three, I don't think he
Pass.
passes all of his exams. Thank you.
Teacher,
What about
cambia
push?
todo.
We have pull. You pulled something. I have. That's present perfect. Present perfect, people. Remember. What is the past participle of the verb break?
Break.
Okay, close. Caliente, caliente, close.
Broken.
Broken, very good, broken. I have broken my glasses. Why? Because we have present perfect. Yes. Okay, number six, can I? The opposite of lend. Be
Borrow.
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 Yes. Okay. Notice that whenever I say borrow, I don't say can you borrow? Can I borrow? But when I use lend, I say can you lend me? There's a huge difference between can I borrow and can you lend me? Okay, they have similar meaning, but they're used in different contexts, so this is not the same. Okay, I think he's going to the opposite of win.
Lose.
To lose, raise. Okay, can you turn
Turn on.
on the light? Very nice. Okay, I get. The opposite of get is
I sent.
I send or sent. Simple past. What do we put? Send with
Sent.
D? Send with
Sent.
T. With T. Why? Because we have
Yesterday.
yesterday. What about number 10? I have
Wrong.
Fine.
wait. Hold your horses. Loose.
Fine.
Found.
It's
Fine.
present perfect.
I have found. Yes, very good. So let's see what we got. Which one passes? Which is the correct answer? Oh, interesting. Okay. This is future projection. Okay, I made a mistake. Okay, I thought it was going to be present simple. Okay, but this is future projection. So I don't think he will pass. Okay, I made a mistake. Okay, just that one. The rest of them are absolutely right. So I don't think he will pass because that's a future projection. Okay, so that's pretty much what we're going to have. Remember that when we were covering will and going to, exactly the same. Okay. Okay, let's see. We have grammar 2Bs. Read the you say phrase, then write a pessimist say response. Okay, so what we got? Okay, so read the you say phrases, then write a pessimist say response. Okay. In this case, we have to link the beginning of the sentence with the ending. Okay, so we are meeting Anna and Daniel at 7. Okay, we have to write the most negative answer. Okay, the worst answer possible. Okay, so we can complete these statements. Okay, so for example, if I say I am going to travel to Europe next month, space, what I have to do is I have to put the pessimistic answer possible. What is the worst scenario that we have? For example, I am going to travel to Europe next month, space. I can say, but I will have to go through custom first. I don't know, but I will have issues at the airport. Okay, so let's see if we can do this exercise real quick. Okay, so what do we have then? We are meeting Anna and Daniel at 7. What is the pessimistic answer that we can put? ¿Cuál es la peor respuesta que podemos colocar ahí? We have to link those sentences. If I say, what about they will be late? Does that make sense? If I say, we're meeting Anna and Daniel at 7, the worst answer will be?
They will be late.
They will be late, right? Okay, we're having a party in the garden. What would happen?
It will rain.
It will rain. Our team are playing in the cup tonight. That's easy.
They will lose.
They lose. They will lose. I am doing my driving test this afternoon. Which one should I put? Remember, the pessimistic answer, the pessimist answer ever.
You won't pass.
You won't pass. Absolutely. You won't pass. If I am doing my driving test, okay, imagine that you have like that like 100% negative friend in your life that you say something and you say, no, it won't happen. Okay, like that. Okay, I am having my first skiing lesson today. What will happen if I am having my first ski lesson today? You'll break a leg. You'll break a leg. Okay, we are going to drive to the city center. What will happen? Remember that is their predictions pretty much. Okay, this is pretty much predictions that we're going to have. Okay,
I drive to the city center. You won't find a parking space.
You won't find a parking space. Very good. I have lent James some money. If I have lent some money to somebody, that person, he won't pay me back. And the last one, I'm going to see a film tonight in English. The first one, you won't understand a word. Okay. Okay, remember this is like a really good example about making predictions. Okay, and in a few minutes I'm gonna show you how can we make predictions. Okay, especially using will and won't. Okay, so that's why it's extremely important that we know how to handle those tenses. Okay. Okay, so yes, that's what we have so far. Okay, yes. Okay, we finalize the revision. Okay, and before we jump into the next one, let me show you the presentation that I have prepared for today, which is one of the last topics that we are going to cover. Okay, before we go on break. Okay. Here we are. Okay, got it. Okay, so let me share this screen real quick. So we are going to see in this case the future simple. Okay, can you see my screen? Yes. Yep. All right. So, okay, people. So in this case, we're going to cover this specific tense before we go on break. Okay. So in this case, we are gonna talk about will and won't. Okay. In this case, we are gonna talk about future simple. A few units ago, I think we covered going to, okay, in the present continuous tense. Okay, but in this case, we are gonna see how can we make predictions using will and going to. I'm sorry, will and won't. Okay. So first of all, we have to understand that will is not a verb. Okay, will is an auxiliary verb, which is different. Okay, do you remember when we were talking about doing does and did in the past? Will is exactly the same thing. So we are going to use will. We are going to be using will when we want to make predictions in the future. Something interesting about will is it doesn't matter with which pronouns we are conjugating the verb. If it's with he, she, and it, all of its structure is going to be the same. That means that the verb, whatever the verb that I put next to a will or a won't, it's going to remain with no changes. Okay, so sometimes, and that's why it states right here, it is followed by the simple form of the principal verb. So I can say, I will go to the cinema. She will go to the cinema. If you notice, in the same sentence that I'm using I and she, the verb doesn't change. Okay, that means that whenever I am using the auxiliary will, I will never change the verb, ever. Absolutely not even close. Okay, so that's why that the future simple is one of the easiest tenses that we're gonna cover. Okay, why? Because we don't have many changes. Okay, especially on the verbs, because many people struggle with changes on the verb. But this part right here, to be more specific, it's pretty much the one that we are going to have so far. All right. So in terms of a structure, the future simple is really easy and it's really simple in this case. Okay. Sometimes we're going to use contractions such as I'll, okay, she'll, he'll, it'll, they will, okay, the apostrophe and the double L, or in this case, a won't. Okay, won't is a contraction of the verb will not, or the expression will not, okay, which is won't. But we cannot contract won't. Okay, one is only contracted. It's already contracted, so we cannot contract one. Okay, so how does it work? If you notice, for affirmative sentences, we have the subject, the will, and the verb. That's it. That's what I'm saying, that the future will is pretty much one of the easiest tenses that we are going to have. Why? Because whenever I am using will, it's because I am making a prediction. Okay, so in terms of function, in terms of how can we use them, it's really, really easy. For example, this is what I've been saying so far. I will travel, you will go. He will go, she will be. All the verbs that we use, they don't change. Absolutely not. Why? Because will is an auxiliary verb. Therefore, because it's an auxiliary verb, we have to make sure that in this case, the aim of this communication of this tense is pretty much talking about the future. Okay, so on the left side, we have affirmative statements or sentences. On the right side, we have negative statements or negative sentences. Okay, so how can we make questions? Easy peasy. Okay, the structure is right there. So instead of putting the subject at the beginning, we are going to put the will at the beginning. Why? Because will is an auxiliary verb. And the same situation that's happened with all the auxiliary verbs that we so far know is going to happen for this one as well. Okay, especially this one. Okay, so whenever we are using will, it's because we are making a prediction. We're talking about the future. Okay, so the structure will go like this. We put will at the beginning, which is the auxiliary verb. After that, we put the subject. After the subject, we put the verb. Remember that the verb doesn't change. So I have to put the verb in the base form, in the first column that you guys have. After that, I put the complement. And obviously, because it's a question, I have to put the question mark. There are no questions without question mark. If you don't put a question mark in the question, that's not a question. That's your statement, but not a question. Okay, so that's why every single time I recommend everyone to put questions, especially the questions, and in the question mark. Okay, and we're gonna have short answers, which are yes if it's affirmative and no if it's negative. Okay, yes I will, yes he will, yes she will, yes we will, and so on. No I won't, no he won't, no she won't, and so on. Okay, so people, questions so far? Something that perhaps was not clear? Questions? No? Is it clear? Yes? Okay, so since there are no questions, I can continue then. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we have put the verbs with the future simple. Use will, see the example. Okay, what about number 2? Who can help me? Number 2, what we got? What we got here?
You will travel around the world.
You will travel very nice. We have travel. Perfect. Let me put it this way. Okay, what about number 2? What do we got? What we got?
You will make.
Will make. If you notice, the verb don't change. So I remain in the same order, in the same structure. Perfect. What about number 3? You will meet, actually. Okay, it was meet. Okay, let me edit it. Will meet. Okay, perfect. What about the next one? Everybody will adore you. It doesn't change. So it keeps exactly the same. Okay, what about the next one? You
Will have.
You will have. Exactly, you will have. Perfect. What about the next one? Many people
Will serve. Will serve.
will serve you. Yes, very good. The next one. Okay, they
will anticipate. Your wish.
anticipate. Perfect, very nice. Okay, what about the next one? You
Will
will live. Okay, live. Remember, it's live, no life. Life is vida in English. It's a noun. Okay, everything will
be.
will be. Exactly. Remember that it doesn't happen that we have in the present. We don't change the be. We don't conjugate the be. Okay, if it's be, be. In the future, doesn't change. Okay, but all these things, what do we have? Will happen only. And that's it. Easy peasy. Okay, that's it. Okay, so with that information being said, okay, let's go back to our platform and therefore we go on break. Okay, we finish this exercise and we go on break, all right? All right, so let's finish. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, what do we have? Number one, let's see. What do we have? Number one, people. That's a negative.
I think they won't lose the
I
match.
think they won't lose the match. Very good, thank you. Okay, that's a question.
Will the meeting
Will she get?
Will the meeting
Meet.
belong?
belong? Thank you so much. Okay, negative.
She won't get the job.
She won't get the job. Unfortunately, she won't get
She's
the
not
job.
important.
She's not qualified. Okay, thank you. What about the next one? That's a question.
Will you see him at work?
Thank you so much. Will you see him at work later? Thank you. Affirmative.
I don't want to go. It will be impossible to park.
I don't want to go. It will be impossible park. Okay, perfect. What about the next one?
You won't like it at work.
You won't like that book. Very nice. Perfect. Okay, what about number 7? What do we have?
I think she will love the present I bought here.
The present I bought her. Okay, thank you so much. What about the next one? Negative?
Very one.
There won't what? Be a lot of traffic. Very nice. In the morning. Thank you so much. What about number 9?
You will find.
You will find, thank you. You will find a good job. I am sure. Thank you. And what about number 10? What do we have?
Everything will be okay.
Everything will be okay. So there's no need to worry. Okay, let's see if we are right or we are not. Let me see, perhaps some punctuation things. Yes. Okay, so people, when you do it, try to use contractions. Okay, try to use contraction. Yes, yes. It says right here, use contractions where you can. Okay, so use contractions. Okay, and that's it. Okay, the only ones that you cannot use contractions, she won't get a job. Okay, yes. The only ones that you cannot use contraction is one. Okay, that's it. But the rest of them use contractions, okay? That's it. Okay, people, so let's go on break, okay? And I would like to talk to you after the class finishes because I have some news that I have to tell you that in this case I haven't told recently, okay? So let's stop for a moment. Okay, so we resume where we left our class. Alrighty, so let's continue. Okay, let's finalize revision and let's move on. Okay, so let's see what we got. Okay, in this case, remember that we will have so far been checking information regarding, in this case, will and won't. So this is pretty much what we're gonna have. Okay. Okay, so we have complete with all with will and a verb from the list. Okay, so let's see what we got. Okay, do you think the traffic will be bad? No, because it's holiday today. Do you like this band? Yes, I think they will.
Be.
They will be famous one day. Is this a good film? Yes, I am sure you will. You will like it. Mm-hmm. Do you think it will win? It will, actually.
No.
It will as no. Yes. What do you think? I will.
Pass.
Get.
I will get. You get a gift for Christmas. Okay, yes. I am so worried about the exam. Don't worry. I'm sure you will. You will pass. Okay? That's what I'm telling you. Don't worry about the exam. You will pass. Okay? If you pay attention, you will surely pass. Okay? We check the answers. And hell yeah, we're absolutely right. Okay? Yes. We are absolutely right. Okay? So let's continue, people. Okay, so complete dialogues with will and won't and a verb from the list. Use contractions. Okay, so let's see what we got. Okay, so, okay, we have this one, okay? I am going climbing next week. It's very dangerous. You. We have to use the words that we have here.
You fall.
You will fall.
You'll fall, yes, contractions. You'll fall. Thank you so much. Okay, I am playing in the tennis final tomorrow. The other player is very good. What do we have?
You won't.
You want. Remember that
Win.
for want, there are no contractions. Okay, want is the same. Okay, want. Okay, I am going to study all evening. It's a waste of time. You.
You won't remember.
You won't remember. Exactly. You won't remember. Exactly. Remember. Yes. Anything in the morning. Okay. We're at about number 4. I told Nick that it's James' birthday on Friday. You know Nick Hill. What do we have? He will miss. We have miss and forget. And sell, actually. So what do we have? He will forget. I'm going to put my MP3 player on eBay. It's too old.
You will send it. Sell.
You won't sell it.
You won't.
You won't sell it. Exactly. You won't sell it. Very nice. What about number 6? I'm getting the 50 train. So it's leaving in 5 minutes. You
will miss.
You'll miss it. Exactly. You'll miss it. Okay. Let's see. Let's check him out. Yes, absolutely right. Okay. Remember that the only one in which we don't use contractions is won't. Why? Because one is already contracted. It has already a contraction. So there's no need for me to use a contraction within another contraction. So that doesn't make any sense. Okay. So let's keep going. Okay.
Mister,
Mm-hmm.
yo tenía una pregunta.
Sure, what's up?
Que si eso va a pasar en el examen, que por ejemplo nosotros no ponemos la contracción y nos salga como mal.
No, they will let you know what to use. That's why in the exam they are checking. That's why the exam is at the end. So you're not gonna have any errors or any books. Okay. In the platform, it happens because they have like 6 units. And because there are like a few questionnaires, like some questionnaires actually. But I am assure you that in the exam, nothing like this will happen. But obviously, you have to read carefully, right? So if they tell you that use contraction, use contraction. That's it. Okay. But you have to read carefully. Okay. Why? Because if in the instruction says use contractions and you didn't use contractions, you might be losing some points, right? So you have to be really, really careful when it comes to reading the instructions that we are going to have. Okay, so especially that part, especially when it comes to reading, because that causes a lot of trouble. Okay, so let's listen to some of the contractions that we're going to have so far. Okay,
3.5.
I'll be late. I'll be late for work.
You'll break. You'll break your leg.
She'll miss. She'll miss the train.
It'll rain. It'll rain tomorrow.
They'll fail. They'll fail the exam.
okay. So if you notice, the pronunciation that they do, okay, is pretty much the one that we have so far, right? I'll be late. You'll break. She'll miss. It'll. Okay, it sounds weird because many people don't say it'll, they say it will. Okay, but sometimes I say it'll rain tomorrow. Okay, and they'll. We can say will. Okay, of course, will. Okay, that's what we have so far. Okay. Okay, so pronunciation. Okay, when it comes to pronunciation, people, it's extremely important that we know how to differentiate one way and the other. Okay, because in British accent, the words they rely on the fact how we pronounce them. Okay, and because of the pronunciation, it's gonna change depending on which word I am using. All right. So yes.
3.6.
Clock. Want. I want to pass.
Phone. Won't. I won't pass.
Okay, so the same thing. Okay, clock. The sound is up. Okay, I won't pass. Okay, phone. I won't pass. Okay, so it has the same connotation. Okay.
3.6.
Clock. Want. I want to pass.
Phone. Won't. I won't pass.
Okay, so that's why pronunciation is key. It's extremely important. Okay, so we have the next questionnaire, people. Okay, we have listen and write 6 sentences. Okay, so let's see what we have so far. Okay, so this one you have to read it first.
3.7. 1.
I want to go with you.
2. They won't come tonight. 3.
You won't find a job.
4. We want to learn. 5.
They want to sell their house.
6. I won't win the match.
Okay, so besides looking at this, what is the first sentence that we're going to have it? Number 1, do you remember? No? Okay, one more time, let's see.
3.7. 1.
I want to go with you.
So, what do we have?
I want to go with you.
I want to go with you. Yes, for sure. Number 2, what do we have? Do you remember? No? Okay.
They won't I come tonight, creo que era.
They won't come tonight. Okay, let's see if you're right, okay? They won't come tonight. Okay, let's see.
2. They won't come tonight.
Very good. Okay, what about number 3? What do we have?
You won't find a job.
They won't find a job. Okay, let's confirm the answer.
3.
You won't find a job.
You won't find a job. Was close. Thank you, Jocelyn. Yes, thank you so much. What about number 4? What do we have?
We want to learn.
We want to.
Learn.
How do you spell it? Can you spell it?
Learn. ¿Cómo se dice?
Learn, like this?
Learn.
Yeah, like that? Okay, let's confirm the answer, okay?
4. We want to learn.
Learn, yes, very good. Yes, learn, okay? If you say learn means something else. Okay, so we say learn. Okay, yes, very nice, perfect. Okay, what about number 5? What do we have?
They want to sell their house.
They want to sell
Their house.
a house. Okay, let's see.
5.
They want to sell their house.
Okay, what about 6? What do we have number 6?
I want
I want with to match.
the mesh. The mesh.
I want to win the match. Like that? Yes? Okay, let's see.
6. I won't win the match.
I want to win the match. I won't win the match, or I won't win the match. What do you think?
I want.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Check it out. This one is they won't come tonight. It's the same thing. Okay, let me see which one is.
Pero,
It's the same, yes, that's what I'm looking at.
Es
Okay.
es la comilla, pero está mal, o sea, está mal está bien lo que usted puso, pero la comilla, la respuesta está mal.
Yes, yes, it's apostrophe. That's because it's a tilde. Okay, that's because it's a tilde, yes. Okay, is this one. All right. So either way, let me report it so it can be fixed and we can avoid the books. Okay. That's what we have so far. Okay. I'm gonna ask in this case Alfonso if he has finished fixing those books.
ya está en agua, págale, dale la casita tú.
Okay, so let me fix those problems so you're not gonna have any issues when it comes to the exam. Okay. Yes. And have this. Yes, that's what we're gonna have. All right. Okay, let's keep going. Let's finalize the revision and let's keep going. Okay. Okay, so we have, in this case, it's pretty much pronunciation. Okay, it's like the one that we covered a few minutes ago. You will learn a lot. He'll meet somebody, you will. Okay, so it's pretty much a matter of pronunciation. Okay, and this is pretty much what you're gonna have. Okay, this is unit 6A, what we have so far done. Okay, and let's go to the unit number, the student book, unit number 6B. Okay, okay, so let's see what we got for this unit. Okay, listen and complete the gaps. Okay, so this is a conversation. We have to listen to the whole conversation and see if we can complete it. Okay, so let's see.
3.10. 1.
That's 2 burgers, a double portion of chips, and 2 ice cream sundaes. Anything else?
Yes, I'll have a Diet Coke, please.
2.
Do I want to go back to the previous version? Do I press yes or no?
I need to do my homework now. I'll help you when I finish.
3.
I'll change. I promise.
Well, hurry up. I can't wait much longer.
Just one more kiss.
3.10. 1.
That's 2 burgers, a double portion of chips, and 2 ice cream sundaes. Anything else?
Yes, I'll have a Diet Coke, please.
2.
Do I want to go back to the previous version? Do I press yes or no?
I need to do my homework now. I'll help you when I finish.
3.
I'll change. I promise.
Well, hurry up. I can't wait much longer.
Just one more kiss.
Mister, tiene el micrófono apagado.
Your mic is mute,
Okay,
Mr.
thank you. Got it. Okay, so got it? Yes? Okay, so the first one was really easy, actually. Okay, that's 2 burgers, a double portion of chips, and 2 ice cream sundaes. Anything else? Yes. I want.
I have a Diet Coke.
I'll have a Diet Coke. Very nice. Thank you. Okay, so. Okay, what about number 2? Do you want to go back to the previous version? Do I press yes or no? I need to do my homework now.
I will help you when I finish.
I'll help you when I finish. Thank you so much. 3, I promise. Well, hurry up. I can't wait much longer. Just one more kiss.
Oh,
Change.
I'll change. That's it? Yes? We got him? All right, so let's see. Let's see if we got it or not. Hell yeah. Okay, absolutely. Okay, I'll have that Coke. Okay. I would say a few units ago I gave the concise and accurate explanation. What do we say Coke and what do we have to be
Mijito, anda, come
really
lasaña.
careful?
Dile a tu papá que está en la cocina que te
Okay,
sirva.
so
Sirva ya.
that's why every single time you have to be aware of how we pronounce the words, right? So especially the word Coke. Okay, because if you say something else, you might mean something else, which is not appropriate to say that. Okay, so that's why you gotta be extremely careful with it. Okay, so let's see, match the sentence. Okay, so let's see what do we have so far. Okay, so I am thirsty. Okay, remember that this information is pretty much like the one that we're gonna have it. Okay, in the grammar evaluation, you're gonna have information like this. You're going to encounter some information which you have to relate with the others. Okay, you have to connect sentences, you have to match sentences so you can create a complete sentence by itself. All right, so that's pretty much what we have. Okay, so we have an example which says it's hot in here. I help you to do it. Okay, it's hot in here, letter G. Shall I open the window? Okay, so what about number 1? I am thirsty. What would you do if you're thirsty?
Sediento. I get you a glass of the water.
I'll get you a glass of water. So that's letter I, right? That's letter I. Very nice. What about number 2? I have a headache. Do you guys know what a headache is? A headache? I have a headache. My head hurts. So if I have a headache, what happens? What usually happens when we have headaches? What do we hate when we have headaches?
¿Cómo encebollado, mister?
I'm sorry?
¿Cómo encebollado, mister?
I cannot listen to you. It's like breaking up.
¿Sí me escucha?
Now, yes, now it's better. Yes.
Que si tengo dolor de cabeza como encebollado.
That's a good solution. Nevertheless, that's not the answer. Okay, yeah, that was a good one. Yes. But no, that means when you have a hungover. Do you know what hungover is?
Hungover? No.
No. When you drink too much and you wake up the next day with a headache, una resaca, that's when you eat encebollado. Okay, very nice. So what do we have, people, right here? I have a headache. What is the normal thing that we hate? For example, when I have a headache, I hate noise. I can stand noise. So for me, if I have a headache, I would say, should I turn off the music? Which is letter H. Okay, shall I turn off the music? That means, come on, switch that off. That's it. Okay. This exercise is hard. What shall I do?
I will help you to do it. I will help you to do it.
I will help you to do it. Thank you so much. What about number 4? I'm hungry. If you're hungry, what you do?
Shall I make you a
Please do the
sandwich?
sandwich.
Shall I make you a sandwich? Yes. Shall I make you a sandwich? Of course. Okay. Number 5. These bags are heavy. Letter C. Shall I carry one for you? Shall I carry one for you? Okay. What about number 6? I left my wallet at home. What would I do if I left my wallet at home? Interesting. Letter D. I'll lend you some money. If I don't have the money, that means that I left my wallet at home, right? So that's why. Okay. I need that photo urgently. I need that photo urgently. So what do we have?
I will send it by email now.
I will send it by email now. Yes. And last but not least, number 8, we haven't got any milk.
I will buy some on my way home.
I will buy some on my way home. Absolutely. Okay, we check them try it. And let's see. Yes, hell yeah, we are absolutely right. Okay, so in this case, we are gonna check one of the last grammar topics that we have so far here. Okay, and that goes along with the exercise that we did a few seconds ago, right? In which we have to learn the difference between will and shall, right? So will and shall are pretty much words that we use to express, in this case, that we express in the future, right? So in simple words, I can help you to understand, I can help you to have that idea very clear. Okay, so in this case, there's a huge misconception about shall and will. Okay, why? Because people think that they work exactly the same, and that's not true, right? So in this case, I am going to show you what are the few, what is one of the easiest way to target or to differentiate shall and will. First of all, number 1, we have to know and we have to remember that shall indicates future. Okay, indicates futurity or some events that will happen in the future. So later on. Okay, I shall have to buy another ticket. Okay, you cannot use will, okay, for 2 main reasons. Number 1, will actually expresses predictions. Okay, and by choosing predictions, you have to be more specific about the idea that you communicate. Okay, and of course, we use shall in the first person. We will never use shall in neither in second, neither in third, neither in plural, neither in singular. The only way that I am going to use shall is in first person for questions and for affirmative sentences. Okay? But never, ever use shall in second person or third person, ever. Okay? I shall I? Okay? But, and here's when you're going to see the difference. Okay? I can use will for second and third person. Of course I can. Okay? But in this case, I can't use shall with they and you. Okay? So the main idea here is that you are able to understand that shall only works for first person, only for that specific context. Okay? Only in that specific context. But I can use will with second, first, and third person, singular or plural, depending on the idea that I want to communicate. All right? So that is pretty much the example. Okay? So shall, first person, that's it. Will, first person, second person, third person. It can be either plural or singular. That's how it works. Okay? So we are going to in this case determine that we are going to have determination, okay, promise, obligation, or permission, depending on the context. Okay, of course they're going to express that, but I want you to just keep in mind that we are going to use shall and will for those, both of them for the future, but shall in first person and will in second and third person. Okay, that's it. Okay, so in this case, as you guys are looking at the screen right now, you are going to notice that the expression by itself, it doesn't change, right? So whenever I am using will and shall, I have to make sure that I use it correctly. Okay, so that's why, okay, I gave you the explanation in here that I use shall, okay, when it comes to predicting something. Okay, that's the main focus that I'm going to use. Okay, I'm going to show you another presentation which is more complete than the previous one. Okay, so in this one, you're going to see that will and won't have pretty much the same connotation, but will has more uses than shall. Okay, first off, we begin by looking and telling something that is really obvious. We are going to predict the future, of course. Okay, we're going to make predictions. Number two, we are going to decide to do something at the time of speaking. That's called instant decision or decision making. Okay, remember that we use will when we decide something at the very moment. Okay, I don't plan anything, I decide. I don't have any milk, I will buy some. Okay, offering, you offer help. Okay, agree to do something. You agree with somebody that you're going to do something in the future. Okay, you promise all the promises that you can think of. You are going to use will. You are not going to say, I'm going to love you forever. Because you're not planning that. You say, I will love you forever. That's it. Asking somebody to do something. Yes, in this case, this part, I can easily call it favors. Okay, we are going to use will, especially will. Okay, when we ask to ask for favors. Okay, remember that people do favors. They don't make favors. Okay, you do a favor. You don't make a favor. All right, so that's the main difference. You do a favor. You don't make a favor. Okay, and when somebody refuses to do something, I won't do it. Okay, so in this case, predicting the future. A very good example. Do you think Jenny will pass the exam? She'll pass easily. She is well prepared for it. Okay, more predicting the future. I didn't answer the interviewer questions well. I won't get the job. Okay, more predictions. Okay, deciding something at the time of speaking. That's pretty much instant decision or decision making. Okay, let's have a party. That's a great idea. We'll invite a lot of people, or lots of people. Okay, that's pretty much what we're gonna have so far. All right. In this case, pretty much is deciding, decision, offering something to do. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Okay, you see somebody having issues, having problems carrying bags, you'll help that person. That's how it works. Okay, offer to do something, yes, of course. Okay, you can give something, by the way. Okay, you agree to do something. Can you give this book to your sister Wendy? Sure, I'll give it to her when I get home. Yes, you agree to do something. Okay, the same thing, agreeing on actions. But in order for you to agree with someone, you need two people. Okay, you and somebody else, when you agreed something. Okay, promises, of course. I'll be there for you when you need somebody. All of us have heard about that. Okay, I'll be there when you want someone who cares. We have heard about that. When you're down and feeling blue, I'll be there. I'll be there when you call me, I'll be there. Okay, that's a promise. Okay, promising, I won't tell anyone what happened, I promise. Okay, that's pretty much what we have so far. Okay, asking somebody to do something, yes. Okay, especially when somebody asks politely, will you please be quiet? Especially that part. Will you marry me? Exactly. Okay, the question is, are you going to marry me? Will you marry me? That's a question. You're asking something politely to somebody else. Okay. Yes, in this case, somebody, when you refuse to do something, that's when we use won't. Remember that won't has a negative connotation. Therefore, we are not going to be able to do it in this case only for refusal, which is the word correctly that we have to use in this case. Okay. Yes, pretty much about refusal, shall. That's the part that I wanted to get. Okay. Shall is more specific. We are going to use shall for offering and suggesting. Okay. Offering, when you offer help, is pretty much the same as will. Okay, but remember, will is only used for second and third person. Shall is used in first person. That's why we call shall we. We is first person as well, but it's plural. Us. Shall we call them? Okay, so shall is used pretty much in first person, either singular and plural. And you offer and suggest something. For example, offering to do something. Shall I buy some cake and cookies? You're offering something to do. You offer, but do you see how the question is created? Shall I buy some cake? You're not saying will I buy, because you're not making a prediction. You're offering something to do. Shall I buy something? And that person, yes, of course, buy something. Or he or she can tell you, don't buy anything, because there's no need to. Okay, shall I close the window? Yes, of course. Okay, that's what we're gonna have so far. Okay, suggesting. Shall we go to Hawaii? That's a suggestion. Every single time we are giving suggestion, every single time at every single moment. Okay. Shall we have creamy mustard chicken for dinner? Who knows? Maybe. You're giving ideas, you're giving suggestions. Okay. And that's it. Okay, so people, is it clear when do we use shall and will? Yes. Okay, so shall, first person singular, first person plural. Will with the rest of them. Okay, that's it. That's what we got so far. Okay, so let's finish with this part real quick. Okay. Okay, so complete the sentences with will and won't or shall. Okay, so let's see what do we have. Okay, I can do this crossword.
Mister, creo que no está compartiendo pantalla.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the heads up. Thank you so much. Yes. What about now? Yes, better? Yep. Okay, all right. So, yes, thank you for the heads up. I sometimes forget that this is not automatic. Okay, so what do we have? Okay, we have to use the words that we have on top: buy, call, forget, get, have, not, because it's already used. Pay, help, pay, take, and tell. Okay, so we have, I can do this crossword. What can I use?
Will I help you?
Will I help you? Okay. Okay. Will I help you? Okay. But which sounds better? Shall I help you or will I help you? What do you think?
Oh,
Shall, right?
yo creo que shall.
Shall I help you? It's a secret. Okay. What do we have? It's a promise.
I won't tell anyone.
I won't tell. I won't tell anybody. I won't tell anybody. Very nice. What about number 3? When will I hear from you again? So
I will call you tonight.
I'll call you tonight. What about number 4? Can I borrow 50 euros? When? So what do we have, people? When?
Will.
When will? Will. Very nice. Yes. When will you
Pay.
When will you pay me back? Of course. When will you pay me back? ¿Cuándo me pagarás? When will you pay me back? Okay. Very good. Thank you. It's my birthday next week. Don't worry. I
won't forget.
I won't forget. Yes, very nice. I won't forget.
I want to be free.
Okay. Remember, people, that every single time we put the verb in the base form. That's pretty much, okay? I feel ill. I feel ill.
Shall I
take you? Shall I take you home? Shall I take you home? Okay, this chocolate you bought isn't very nice. Yes, I know. I won't buy it again. I won't buy it again. Okay, these shoes are too small. I'll
Take a bigger. No, take a step.
I'll get
Okay.
I'll get a bigger pair for you, madam. By the way, only British people use madam. Okay, or madam. They say madam. American people, we don't say that. Okay, the word that we say, which is closer, we say ma'am. We say ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. We say men, we say ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So it's like madam, but it is not that fancy. We say ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So let's see. Let's see if we are absolutely right or we are absolutely wrong. Of course we are. Hell yeah. Okay. Absolutely. Yes, indeed. Okay. So that's what we have so far. Okay. So let's see what we got. Okay. Let's see what we got so far. Okay. Let's finalize the revision. Okay. Let's see. Put them in the right column in alphabetical order. So let's see what we got so far. Okay, first syllable. It says, look at the 2-syllable verbs below. Which syllable are they stressed on? Put them in the right column in alphabetical order. Okay, so we have the first syllable that is stressed, okay, and the second syllable that is stressed. Okay, Remember that we have to put it in alphabetical order. Okay, so the verbs that we have are receive, forget, impress, depend, invent, invite, decide, arrive, practice, borrow, prefer, complain, agree, offer, happen, repair, promise, and sunbathe. Okay, so first, let's start with the first syllable one, right? Which are the verbs that are stressed in the first syllable? What do you think? Only the first syllable. Okay, take a couple of minutes because we have 8 minutes. Take a couple of minutes to decide, and then you can give me the answers, okay? Remember, the first syllable has to be stressed, okay? And later, we are going to continue with the second syllable stress.
Happen, promise. O sea, no lo está diciendo en orden, pero son esos.
Yeah, okay, let's see. Okay, we have happen.
Promise.
Promise, where's promise? I promise.
Sunbathe.
Sunbathe, okay.
Prefer.
Offer.
We offer. Okay. Any other?
Prefer.
I prefer. Okay, prefer. I prefer. Okay. Any other that we can think of?
Borrow.
Maybe. I borrow. Okay. So this one goes first. The question is, how can I take it out? Interesting. Okay, so we have borrow. After borrow, what do we have? Alphabetical order. H, right? So is happen. After happen, what do we have? Alphabetical order, people. We have prefer. Oh, offer, yes.
Offer.
Offer, yes. Offer and prefer and promise. Prefer. Promise. And is there any other that we are missing?
Sunbathe.
Sunbathe. Okay, nice. Okay, what about the ones that we have on the second syllable? For example, we have repair. Okay. We have forget. We have depend. We have to invent. We have to invite. We have to decide. We have to arrive. We have to complain. Any other? We have to impress. We have to receive. Any other?
Agree.
Which one? Which one?
You agree?
Agree. Agree. Nice. I agree. Okay. And the last one, we're missing one. Let me see which one. Do we have practice? I practice. I practice. I prefer. I would
Decide.
say
Decide.
decide. It's already here.
Decide.
What do we consider taking prefer out? What about practice? Practice. I practice. And prefer here. I prefer. Okay. Okay, so I am not going to organize them, but when you do it, you have to organize them, okay? That's how it works, okay? So I'm gonna display the answers really quick so you can say which one are the ones that we have. Okay, we get it 0 because it's not done properly. Do you see? Practice. Okay, so we have agree, arrive, complain, decide, depend, forget, impress, invent, invite, prefer, receive, and repair. Okay, so that's the one that you gotta do. Okay, that's the one that we gotta do. That's the one that we are going to be working on. Okay, so we can listen.
3.12. First syllable.
Borrow.
Happen.
Offer.
Practice.
Promise.
Sunbathe.
Second syllable. Agree.
Arrive.
Complain.
Decide.
Depend.
Forget.
Impress.
Invent.
Invite.
Prefer.
Receive.
Repair.
No se escucha.
Thank you so much. Okay, hopefully we have we finished the unit number 6B. Okay, and for next week we are gonna be working on the last unit. Okay, and we're done with it. Okay, as I mentioned before, I am going to be reopening all of those exercises so you can redo it in once again. Okay, I'm gonna check the writing parts. Okay, so I'm gonna set a deadline. Okay, I'm gonna set a deadline for you to finish the platform. I am going to be setting the deadline by Friday, the 3rd of November. So the only ones that we have to finish in the class is gonna be the unit number 6C. Okay, that's the only unit that we are going to be doing in the class. But from the unit number 1 to the unit number 6B, you have to finish, in case that you haven't finished, by November the 3rd, which is Friday, because the exam is gonna be on November the 5th, which is Sunday. And we are gonna have classes on November the 4th, which is Saturday. Okay, so by that time, Alticia platform has to be done. Moodle platform has to be 99% done, only missing the last part, which is the unit number 6C that we're going to see on Saturday. And that's it. Okay, that's pretty much it. Okay, let's finish with this. Let's wrap up with this. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so we have complete dialogues with a phrase from the list. Okay, we have send it back, call you back, give it back, pay me back, come back, and take it back. Okay, these are phrasal verbs. Okay, whenever we have a back in a phrasal verbs, because phrasal verbs, I think I have explained that before, but phrasal verbs are composed by a main verb plus a preposition sometimes can be an adverb, and a noun. Okay, that's how we create phrasal verbs. All right, so when you say send it back, you receive a package, for example, you receive an email, for example, okay, but your boss calls you and tells you, okay, the email, it wasn't for you, so send it back. You have to return it. Okay, when I call you back, when I say, okay, I'm gonna call you back, I'm gonna return the call for you. Okay, when you give back something, you return. Okay, you return something. All the backs, okay, just for you to have that idea. Okay, so all the backs that you can think of means return. To return something or to take something back. Okay, so that's what we're gonna have. Okay, so let's see, we have number 8. we have the shirt you bought me is too small. Don't worry. I'll take it back. I'll give it back. What do you think? Ideas? To the shop and change it. I still have the receipt.
Come back.
Come back? You cannot say come back. We use come back for people, not for objects. So if you say I will come back to the shop, not really.
Paying back, no.
Pay back.
I will pay back. Remember that you say pay back when you lend money to somebody. You pay back somebody, or somebody pays you back.
It back.
Podría ser send back.
I will send it back.
Send it back to the shop.
Maybe, but I say to the shop.
And take it back.
The shop.
You can say I take it back to the shop. I'll take it back to the shop. Okay. Hi, Jack. It's me, Karen. I can talk right now. I'm driving. I'll
Call you back.
I'll call you back. Absolutely. Yes. I will call you back. Okay. I will call you back. Perfect. Okay. Could I see the manager? She's at lunch right now. Could you? The one that Perina mentioned. Could you come back? Regresar. ¿Podría regresar? Could you come back? Okay. That's my pen you're using. That's my pen you're using. Give it back.
Give it back.
Devuélvela. Give it back. That's mine. Can you lend me 50 euros, Nick? It depends. When can you? When can you? When can you pay me back? Okay. I bought this jacket on internet, but it's too big. Can you?
Send it back.
Send it back. Can you send it back? Okay, so let's see, what do we have? Yes, absolutely right. Okay, we are absolutely right. Okay, people, so we're gonna stop right here because it's time. Okay, so let me repass the attendance real quick before we guys go. Okay, so let's see who's missing. Perina is right here, of course. Okay, we have Josue is right here, of course. Okay, Leonid is not here. Jairo, Brian is not here. And Anna is not here either. Okay. Okay, people. So let me stop sharing. Okay. As usual, let's take a screenshot. Okay. So get ready. Number 1, 2, 3. Everybody say cheese. There you go. Okay.